Hello, everyone. My name is Elvis Lavitt, and I'm the CEO and lead instructor here at LionTech Solutions Canada. And today, I want to talk to you about what the programs we offer here at LionTech is all about, and of course, how you can take advantage of this program to position yourself with skills that can open global opportunities for you, right? So let's get into it. Before we get into it, actually, I want to tell you about my story. So the reason why I'm so excited and so fired up to talk about this and to share my experiences because I know that there are so many persons like me out there who need to hear this, right? Because sometimes you think, oh, I don't have a science degree, or I am non-techie, how can I get into these things and study tech to the point where I can get a job? I used to be like you, and I took the step after orientation videos like this, changed my mind, and today, I just can't, I just couldn't be so grateful. And I am super, super grateful that I took this. So now let's talk about what this is all about. So we are talking about, okay, you know, talking about AI-driven robotic careers, right? Helping beginners and career switchers to enter tech. And to understand that for beginners, the issue is always, is this the right thing for me? Am I going to succeed? Can I succeed in this? And that's because I remember one of my students who got hired and working now with IBM. When she was testifying, she said, "Oh, you know what? I used to think that tech was mathematics, and I used to just hate mathematics when I was in school, and rightfully so. So people have a lot of myth, right, misunderstanding about what tech is all about. Tech is very broad, just like business is very broad, just like art is very broad, right? So let's get into it. So of course, the reason why we're talking about AI global tech careers is because artificial intelligence cannot be ignored in how we choose careers in this dispensation and time, right? So tech roles are in demand worldwide. Remote and global job opportunities, skills matters more than location. Yeah, I'm based in Canada and I've been privileged to work for companies that are located in the US. I work for a company that was based in the UK, right? And I also have students who have been hired. I have about two who are based in Cameroon and are now working as DevOps engineers, senior DevOps engineers for companies located in the US. So the whole idea is to pursue remote and global job opportunities, right? So looking at cloud computing. Okay, think about it this way. Do you know that um, you can be in Cameroon, for example, and you are managing somebody's Facebook account who's in the US, right? Why? Because it's online. So all you need to do is what is to log into their account and perform one or two tasks. And that's it, right? So this is the same thing because companies are moving to the cloud, right? It makes it so easy for them to hire employees from anywhere in the world because all they need is log into the environment and be able to perform one or two tasks, right? So that's it. So one thing you got to understand is that in this dispensation and time, right? Skills matter more than location. So it's no longer a matter of, oh, come on, I am in this particular part of the world and I am not sure I'm going to get this opportunities. No, if you get the skills, right, you can access opportunities from anywhere in the world. And we're going to show you that. I'm going to bring that to you in my next video to let you know that location is no longer a barrier. Why? Because we are in a global village. So why global tech careers matters? Of course, now, right? Most people are not just looking for jobs. People are looking for jobs that give them some degree of independence, right? Some freedom. Okay. Like, for example, imagine you working from home. Okay, you get up in the morning, you don't have to worry a lot about, changing wardrobes or driving to work and all of that. Why? Because you're working from home. So you wake up in the morning, turn on your computer, you check your emails and check your calendar for meetings and all of that. And that is work for you, right? So this is where most people want to be. And this is why we are here. This is why I am here. I have been enjoying this opportunity. And I believe that most of you also are looking for something like this, right? So why does it matter? Why should you bother about robotic careers? Now we live at a time when, a lot of things are happening in the world today, right? A lot of things are happening in the world today. And acquiring skills that makes you marketable irrespective of your location. I don't think that can be overemphasized, right? Yeah. Okay. So what the LionTech program is, first one, so it's a 9 months structured career pathway. That means that you are being trained to become something, right? So our training is focused, okay, on building you up with skills, knowledge, experience, hands-on experience to what? To come out as a DevOps engineer, cloud architect or cloud engineer, and of course, what also a cybersecurity professional. So this is a 9 months program and it's focused on three major programs, right? To build for you a career. And the good thing is that the program is super beginner friendly because it's designed for those who are just considering switching into tech or what we call career switchers, right? New babes in tech. So we welcome you from that level and what we build you up from ground zero. And, that is the way the program is built. So we are going to be talking about what is DevOps, cloud computing, and cyber security. Okay. So what is DevOps? In simple terms, right? This is how software is built, deployed, and maintained. Okay. And what makes DevOps process to software development very different is that the focus is on automation. And so the key issue or the key skills there is what is automation. And then you're going to see the concept of what? Of CI/CD and containers. Now let me talk about what this is. CI stands for continuous integration. And then CD stands for two things, either continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Okay, let's not mix this, but let's try to break it down. So when every application, right, every application starts from some crazy idea. And then, you know, the ideas meet somebody who say, you know what, yep, and bring this idea to fruition. And then what happens? They start working on it. So now you have the development phase of that idea. This is when now you are transferring that idea from just a concept into something handy, into something tangible, right? So that happens. When you develop that idea, you have to test it. Then what? You have to deploy it. So to deploy just means like what? Okay, you are taking it to the market. So take it this way. Let's say you want to developed, okay, Niger jollof rice. What do? You have to go to the market and buy all the spices, come and then you mix everything together. So whatever is happening in the kitchen is what is the development. After you develop it to some extent, you have to test it. You have to test the salt, make sure everything is in sync or is in line, right? Before you can deploy it to your customers. So this is what we refer to as the software development life cycle. So in summary, right, DevOps teaches you What is the process involved in developing any application, right? What are the stages involved? What are the processes involved? Who are the stakeholders? And what are the tools involved? And above all, what is the DevOps culture? What is the DevOps philosophy? It's very simple, right? The DevOps philosophy is all about collaboration. So Dev stands for developers. These are those who are creating. And Ops is more about those who take what has been developed and make it available to the end users, to the customers, right? So what? So this means that you are being trained to work on softwares, okay? But it's mostly a technical project management kind of course. Why? Because what? It simply takes what you have studied in project management in business or in any other kind of project management and kind of technicalize it. That's it. And it's very easy, right? So talk about this in details. But this is what it's all about, okay? Automation is all about automation. So this is what makes DevOps very different. That's why if you look at majority of DevOps job description, right, you're going to see what automation, automation, automation. What does it mean to automate? To automate means that you want to set up a system that doesn't rely on human intervention, right? So one of the benefits that DevOps engineers bring to every project, because every software development, okay, every software being developed is a project. So that's what you're going to see. You're going to be asked, okay, what projects are you currently working on? What tools have you used in your project? So it's always about a project. So from there, of course, automation, then of course, we're going to hear terms like CI/CD. That is the core skills, the must-have skill when it comes to, DevOps. Then you have containers. Containers is more about, so because there are two approaches to how we develop applications, right? So applications can be developed either as, what we call monolithic application or microservices applications. Monolithic is like when you put everything together. Micro is when we're able to manage components of the application independently and scale them independently as well. So think about it this way. Each time you log into your banking application and you get this update that, oh, maybe you know what, like a particular feature is being updated or is under maintenance, right? But you are still able to use your application up to like 90%, right? Everything is still functioning. So the entire banking app is still up and running, right? So that is a microservice perspective. That's a microservice example. But imagine if just because the transfer feature needs to be maintained, the entire application is down. That can only happen in the scenario where the application is deployed as a monolithic application. So, of course, in that case, that's what is going to happen. So, of course, containers become so important. And so you're going to learn that and also get your certification in it as well. The other most very, very important concept that you must learn, as a matter of fact, irrespective of what you're studying at the moment, you will discover that you are using one cloud service or the other, right? And one of the most commonest cloud services that we are using, that all of us use, right? Everybody now uses. So if you go to your Gmail, I'm going to show you something. So if you go to your Gmail, right, look at this here. These are what? These are all cloud services, okay? Drive. So in this drive, we can what? So we can save documents in this drive. So anything that is saved in this drive, if my computer crashes, it's no big deal, right? Whatever is saved here is saved there. So it stays in the cloud. So when you save stuff in the cloud, new concerns arise, okay, about security. How do you manage storage? How do you scale? How do you descale? How do you automate? Like all of that now start coming into play. So these are examples of cloud services. One of it is photos. Many of us now back up our photos to our Gmail because your phone can get missing, right? Your phone can be stolen, your phone can get corrupted, can get bad. Okay. And you can still recover everything you had on your phone, media, in terms of media, right? If they were saved in the cloud as opposed to saving on your phone. So this is why so important to understand, right? Cloud. So these are cloud services that we use on a regular basis on individual levels, and it helps us a lot, right? Now imagine us as normal human beings using cloud, okay, to a greater extent, to manage our data, to sourcing our data and all that, how much more of a company. So cloud computing is just where modern applications run. Modern applications. Now, it's important to understand why we use the word modern there because, majority of applications as of now are not, that modern. And in fact, they all we call legacy applications, right, that were deployed or that were built using very old technologies. You cannot just all of a sudden disintegrate them and start moving them. It takes a lot of work and technical considerations to do that. So when it comes to cloud, we have three major clouds. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services, Azure, and what? Google Cloud. And so cloud engineers manage what? Scalable systems. So this is so important to understand because let's imagine that we want to build an application. Let's call it application Campus One. Okay. So Campus One is an application that is going to be used to manage, school systems, grading, attendance, registration, and all of that. So let's say we build the application and we start off with like 1,000 schools. So 1,000 schools we require to have just 500 computers. What happens if we now scale up to like, 1 million schools and now we need like 100,000 computers, right? I mean, if we're managing this on-prem, because the opposite, okay? The other option to cloud computing is on-prem. So on-prem means that you have a room. Okay, we used to call it server room. You have a room full of computers, and that's where everything runs from, right? So you are in charge of the security, the heating, the housing, everything, right, to keep those systems secured, okay, and protected is in your hands. But with cloud computing, you don't have to worry about heating, cooling, okay, security, and all of that. You don't have to, I mean, like physical security, because you will still need to secure your systems, by virtue of the kind of practices that you are going to be implementing there. So, what then is cybersecurity and GRC? So GR stands for governance, okay, and governance requirements and compliance, okay. But of course, what cybersecurity is all about, protecting systems, data, and infrastructure. And now you see why everything is linked together, right? So if you were thinking about cybersecurity, that's what you're going to focus on. Then for the hour, so we have risk management, compliance, and governance. That's where GRC comes. And then of course we have security in cloud and DevOps environment. That's why the program you're about to study what is a combination of these three. And trust me, it can never fail. I can guarantee you that if you take a course with LionTech in this particular domain, right, within 9 months, you yourself you're going to testify, right? And no wrong. So of course, risk management, yeah. So ask yourself this question, right? So let's say we are saving our pictures right here. What are the risks? Okay, because yeah, it's in the cloud, but what are the risks? You know what I mean? Okay, what if somebody hacks my Gmail? Yeah, it's gone, it's gone. What if I forget my password, right? That is a risk. So how do you manage that? What if I'm sharing this account with like six other persons? How do I like, how do I protect certain files from them? How do I manage, access management to the file? So those are risks. Your account could be hijacked. Those are risks. You could be, a victim of phishing or cyber attack. Those are risks. So how do you manage those risks? So this is how, cybersecurity professionals or risk compliance experts, think. So yes, of course, we want to move to the cloud, but of course, what there are risks in the cloud, right? Because look at something. If I have a physical data center, like a computer room, and I have an access code where only those who have the code are able to access the computer room, right? That is more secured. Okay, we can tell who is getting in there and who is coming out at any time. I can also hire a security guard to be there and maintain the law, right? So of course we are managing the risks to unauthorized access, right? But in the cloud, how do you manage the exact same thing in the cloud? Because of course now you have your applications running in the cloud, you have your infrastructure running in the cloud. How do you manage that? So that's where cybersecurity comes, and that's why you must understand how that is implemented as well. So in 2025, right, moving forward, and I think even in 2026, we are going to see a lot of, advancement in artificial intelligence. Now, the good news is that anybody studying DevOps, cybersecurity, and cloud computing in 2026 is just so fortunate. Why is that? Because of artificial intelligence, right? Now, if you look at VS Code, VS Code stands for Visual Studio Code. It's a tool that most developers and DevOps engineers use to manage source code. You will see that Microsoft has already deployed Copilot there. You can ask Copilot to write for you any code. As a matter of fact, you can build an application with Copilot within seconds, within minutes, right? You have it up and running. You have a demo while you're looking out for up and running. So the thing is that AI hasn't come to take away our jobs, right? AI has come rather to to enhance our efficiency, to make us even more effective, right? That is what AI has come to do. And that's why we have to embrace it, right? And use it. So, of course, what AI as a learning and work assistant. So, AI today is used as a learning assistant and as a work assistant. The goal is not to replace you, the goal is to assist you. So, before AI came, many of you will attest that we used to, Google a lot of things, go on YouTube, search videos, right, looking for solutions. So AI has just come to enhance that particular process and not to take it away. So I think it's very, very important that you know, we make that distinction, right? Super, super important. Okay, like that. All right. So let's say you now take a program, or we are thinking about taking a program because our program is designed to help working professionals, right? So all of our classes runs on the weekends, right? Saturday and Sunday recorded sessions are available. Okay. So you can see like we have a Telegram channel, okay, where all classes are posted after the class. So when you get enrolled, right, you're going to be added in your own channel. So you can see like here, okay, this is the October session. You see that you see the videos, right? So after the class, you have the videos posted just like this, and you can see that, okay, and all of that. We also have a lot of hands-on labs and guided projects that you're going to work on. That's what the program runs. So who is this program for? Of course, beginners with no tech background. So don't be alarmed if you don't have any tech background. Okay, career switches, students and professionals upgrading their skills. Okay, and then of course, what are the career outcomes? Of course, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, cybersecurity, governance and risk compliance analyst, DevSecOps engineers. So these are just a few because what we also have, infrastructure automation engineering, we have cloud engineering, we have a lot of careers, but these are the ones that you are going to be looking out for. And of course, all of these careers at entry level pays between 70,000 US dollars a year to $110,000 a year for entry level. So what a great opportunity. But the good news is that these are global opportunities, okay? So why students choose LionTech? So far, we have 25 plus students earning more than 125K USD a year, real world tools and projects, strong work, student support and career guidance. We are known for that. And that's why you can see we have that kind of result that we are having. Next steps, of course, is, after watching this video, if you are interested in taking our program, we also offer, free daily orientation. So at any time, you can request a call for guidance, receive materials and recorded videos just like this to help you make your decision. Personally, I believe a lot in making sure that whoever wants to enroll in our program has all the information that they do require to make, an informed decision because this is an investment and the return on the investment is that you are able to pick up a career. So, of course, you have the right to ask all the questions before you make a decision. So, this is so important. So, of course, if you're thinking about joining us, we look forward to supporting your journey. You can contact us for more information. Um, our contact information is 647 3818836. You can, reach out to us and we're going to be more than happy to, to guide you. It's going to be my singular privilege and the team here at LionTech to guide you and make sure that, you are making progress as you decide to do a career switch. Otherwise, thank you so much. My name has been Elvis Lavet. My students call me Prof. Brings, and I'm your humble servant. Anytime you can reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to guide you. But this is a career that you just cannot ignore. I encourage you that as you enter 2026, enter big, enter big. And we have to take an environment where your life is going to be transformed. I promise you, God bless you, and look forward to seeing you all as we study together and chart this new path. Thank you, and God bless you all. And